Welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Today I'm going to do a dessert recipe for you. It's white chocolate bread pudding. And this recipe is one of my favorites. It's simple to do, it's so decadent, and it's great for the holidays. We're going to do it all on the smoker. Let's get to cooking. So I got this recipe from my friend Miss Rita. She gave it to me and I want to share it with you guys. Of course, I got to put my own little spin on it. But what we're going to start with is a loaf of French bread. We're going to tear that into tiny little pieces and we're just going to put it in a bowl. Then we're going to pour in 4 cups of heavy whipping cream and we're going to let that soak for about 30 minutes so the cream really absorbs into the bread. And that was really the hardest part. Now we're going to put the rest of the ingredients together. So I'm going to take a couple cups of just white table sugar and we're just going to add 3 beaten eggs. Then we're going to put in about half a stick of melted butter. We're also going to add some vanilla, a little bit of nutmeg, and then I've got a good pinch of salt here that's going in. It's going to balance out the sweetness. And we're just going to stir this gently until we get it all combined. Now that our sugar and egg mixtures come together, we're going to fold in 1 package of these white chocolate morsels. So now we're ready for our bread mixture that's been soaking in that cream, and we're just gonna add it to this bowl. We're just gonna gently fold it all together. You don't have to stir it hard. You just wanna get the egg sugar mixture incorporated with the bread, the cream. And this bread pudding makes a great dessert, but it's also great for brunch. You could use it for your holiday breakfast, if you're serving a dinner. There's never a wrong time to eat bread pudding. So now I just have a glass casserole dish that I took a stick of butter, rubbed all around to grease the sides really good. And we're gonna transfer our bread pudding mixture right to this casserole dish. You wanna get out all that goodness out of the bowl. Don't leave anything behind. And just take the back of your spoon, kind of even it out a little bit in the casserole dish. Now we need to get our smoker fired up. And for this job, I'm cooking on my Memphis wood-fired grill today. I have some apple pellets in it to give us a little bit of a mild flavor, but we're cooking at 350 degrees, so it's not gonna be heavily smoked. As soon as the smoker gets up to temperature, we're ready to cook. So our Memphis grills come up to temperature. We're sitting right at 350 degrees. And I'm gonna set the bread pudding right in the center of the grill. And then we're gonna close the lid and just let this grill do its magic. We're gonna need about an hour, but we'll check on it and see how it's browning across the top. And when it's done, it'll be browned all over the top, around the edges, and it'll come together. And we're also gonna make this bourbon white chocolate cream sauce that we're gonna drizzle over the top. We'll show you that right now. Now for our bourbon white chocolate sauce, I've just got a small saucepan here. I'm starting with a couple tablespoons of butter. We're gonna let that melt down and we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of good Kentucky bourbon. Pick whatever kind you like. And we're gonna cook the alcohol off that bourbon and melt that butter down. It's gonna cook off the moisture in it. And then as it starts to brown, that's when we're gonna add our cream that we're gonna melt the chocolate in. And then reduce the heat all the way down to barely a simmer. Then we'll start incorporating our white chocolate chips. You also want to add just a pinch of salt to balance it all out, and go slow. The whole sauce only takes about 10 minutes. You just want to get it to a consistency of where the white chocolate's melted, everything's incorporated, and it makes this really wonderful sauce that's going to go over the bread pudding. And man, you could eat this stuff on anything, but it's going to set our bread pudding off. Well, here we are, an hour into our white chocolate bread pudding. Let's take a peek at it, see how it's doing on the Memphis grill. Oh man, that thing looks awesome. You can see it just bubbling away. The top's starting to get golden brown. The sides are really good and brown. I think it just needs a few more minutes. I want the top to get a little more brown, kind of in the center. So I'm just gonna grab some heavy gloves and just spin it around just a little bit. I'm trying to check and see. It looks like it's set almost. It's still kind of jiggly. It needs a few more minutes just so that top browns up. It's gonna set just a little bit more. I'm talking 5-10 minutes tops. We'll be ready to get this thing off the grill. Okay, we let that bread pudding go another 5 minutes. Let's check it out. And just as I thought, you can see now it's completely brown over the whole top. It's really set. I mean, take a look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Golden brown, those morsels have melted in it. Let's get it over to the cutting board. I'm telling y'all, if you could smell the way this white chocolate bread pudding is, it is incredible. I mean, to think that we cooked it on a smoker outside, you would think it was in the oven, but it's browned up, just beautiful and perfect. And bread pudding needs to be served warm. Now it's screaming hot right now, but I don't think I can wait. It's been sitting here just for a couple minutes. So I'm gonna plate it up. I've got my sauce ready to go on top. Let me go ahead and cut some out and get it on this plate. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. It's letting go from the sides. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way, get my plate close, We're gonna scoop it right out. Look at that. I get excited over barbecue. You start putting something like this on me, man. So we've got our bread pudding on our plate. Now we're gonna take some of this bourbon, white chocolate glaze sauce. I don't care what you call it. I call it goodness. And we're just gonna drizzle this right over the top. And you always serve a bourbon sauce with bread pudding. Serve it on the side in case somebody doesn't want it, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to try this. Now, the most important part of the day, I'm gonna have to try this. I'm going right in, get some of that glaze on the top, some of the side. I know it's hot, I don't care. Still smoking. Oh, I'm gonna have to take my time with this. That's so good. I ain't lying, that's so good. It gets those crunchy edges. It's almost like a cobbler-like texture, but the inside is just creamy soft where it's came together. I mean, and then when you put that glaze on top, that's another level. So this recipe would be great for brunch. You've got Thanksgiving, Christmas around the corner. Give it a try at one of your family events. Cook it for friends, cook it for the office, it don't matter. You're gonna love it.